Welcome back everyone to another episode of the DooM series, and in this video we are going to continue by learning how to load pallets from our WOT file, which are going to be essential for displaying our DooM textures. Alright guys, so we'll begin by opening up pallet.h here, which is a file I've just created, and it consists of a definition for our palette structure, and in a palette in DooM consists of 256 colors, and we are going to store them in a 1D array consisting of the R, G and B bytes, so multiplied by 3. Now I'm going to open up render.h, and we're going to change this to use integers for the colors instead of vec4s, because this color will now be an index in the palette, and this will allow us to simulate a retro like palette aspect with OpenGL. Now inside of render.c we'll change our uniform color to be an integer, and we'll add another uniform which will be a sampler one dimensional, but it will be a one dimensional texture called palette, and we'll use the textual get function with our palette and our color and the text and the level of detail level as 0, and we're going to use that, and we're going to change all of the definitions of the functions here as well, and we'll use uniform for 1i actually for the actual setting of the uniform value. Now let's that's pretty much all we need to change inside of our render.c. So we are gonna actually change this here where we are doing texel get. It's actually texel fetch, not texel get, and save that, and we're gonna open up engine.c, and inside of this we're going to remove the code for our previous color calculation, and we are going to just seed the random value, and we are going to include palette.h and get a color random number up till number of colors, and we're going to remove the get random color function. And if I run this, we should get a black screen, which means that well, our texture is not loaded correctly even though our colors are working. So now we need to figure out a way to load the texture and then to upload the texture data to OpenGL. And here by texture, of course, I mean the palette, and in order to do that I'm going to open up render.c, and in here you can see we've got our initiator function in which we're going to load the texture location as well. We are actually called palette location, and we're gonna load it from the palette that we've got, and we'll only need this once. So we are gonna set the palette location to 0, and this means that OpenGL texture number 0 will be used for the palette. So in here we are going to create a function so called renderer set palette, and it would take actually set palette texture, and it would take a single integer for the palette texture, and this is gonna represent like the texture, and in order to assign this we are gonna just go ahead and say GL active texture. We are gonna set it texture 0, which is the one we assigned. Then we are going to use GL bind texture and bind texture 1D, because this is a one dimensional texture, to this palette texture. Alright, so now we are gonna go ahead and create a function here in the palette.h file, so called palette generate texture, and this function is going to generate an OpenGL texture given a palette. So we are gonna open up create a new file here called palette.c, and inside of this we are gonna implement this function. And for the implementation of this we are gonna first of all begin by creating an actual integer for the texture ID, GL unsigned integer, and we are gonna return that. And here we are going to use GL generate textures to generate the texture for this. We are going to generate it. Then we are going to use GL bind texture to actually bind the texture 1D to this value. And now we are going to begin by using GL text parameter to kind of define some important aspects of our texture. Firstly, we are going to tell it to just clamp instead of doing any other kind of wrapping. So if the values are outside of the range, then we are going to just clamp them to the edge. And then we are going to also provide two more parameters, which are going to be for the minifying and magnifying filters. We are going to just say that choose nearest and not choose linear, so no interpolation will be performed. Instead we'll get a crisp picture with this. So we are going to use GL text image 2D with the RGB8 format, and we are going to provide it our number of colors and everything, and we are going to say that we have got our data as unsigned bytes, and we are going to just basically upload the whole colors to the OpenGL graphics card. Now let's go ahead and open up engine.c. Alright, so now let's go ahead and open up WOT.h here as well, and in here we are going to create a function for reading playpal, which is the actual lump in which the pallets are stored. And DooM stores multiple pallets, but we'll only read one pallet for now, the first one. So we'll create this WOT read playpal function, which will take a pointer to a WOT along with a pointer to a pallet that we are going to actually read this into. So in here it's actually very simple to read this. We'll begin by creating, of course, searching for the playpal lump and getting the index, by using WOT find lump. And we're going to make sure that it's not negative. If it is, then we're going to return with an error, because it means that playpal is not in the WOT file, which means the WOT file is corrupt. So in here we'll just use memcopy to copy into the colors the actual data of this WOT file. So the first 768 bytes will represent the first palette, so we're going to just go ahead and copy those. So we're going to say num colors multiplied by 3, so we're going to just copy them directly. And that's pretty much all we need to do. Now inside of engine.c we'll create a static palette here called palette. And now we're gonna go here where we are doing this, and let's just go to the end of this. And in here we are going to use word read playpal to actually read the palette, and then we are going to also give it our WOT file. And now we need to actually upload this data to OpenGL. So we are going to go ahead and say palette generate texture, and we're gonna give it our palette, and we are going to store the result in a palette texture variable. And now we are going to say render set palette texture, and we are going to pass it the palette texture variable that we have got. And another thing we need to do is we need to change this here to use modulus operator. I accidentally had divide here before, and now you can see that we get a bunch of different colors, and all of those colors are chosen from the DooM palette. And you can see that it works pretty well. So we've got random colors from the DooM palette, and this means that our palette loading is functioning perfectly. Anyways guys, this is going to be pretty much it for this video, and in the next video we are going to look into loading textures and how to use textures with this palette system that we have got. So that's going to be pretty awesome, so stay tuned for that, and make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss it, and share this video with other people as well, and bye.